Good day to everyone watching this video and taking this course. I am Dr. Alvin Marcelo. I'm the chair of the Asia eHealth Information Network, or AHIN for short. The topic assigned to me is Enterprise Architecture for Health, and it is my honor and privilege to be part of this global effort initiated by the SANA Group. The idea of gathering international resource persons for a course on global health informatics seems logical, but I know it requires tremendous efforts in coordination. The SANA group should be commended for taking the lead. I have divided my presentation into three parts. The first part aims to provide context to the issues surrounding healthcare in general and health information systems in particular, more to emphasize the ideas already shared by Dr. Wamai and to concur with the proposals of Dr. Cantor. This also sets up the rationale for enterprise architecture in healthcare. The second part describes enterprise architecture, what it means, and why it is an integral part of successful health information systems development, or any information system for that matter. I'll discuss some activities we have taken at AHIN to build capacity for enterprise architecture in our region. The last part is about the Philippines and how we are integrating enterprise architecture into our national eHealth strategy. I'll share the big challenges and the modest triumphs, as well as tips on how to avoid the potholes. In my talks, I use eHealth and health information systems interchangeably. I know it is not a completely perfect mapping, but call it force of habit. We should really start using eHealth as much as we can from now on. Since this is a global health course, allow me to first take a more local perspective and then use that as a springboard to demonstrate how a global health approach is crucial in organizing health information systems development in our region. The Asia eHealth Information Network, or AHIN, was created by the World Health Organization as an informal network in 2012, but it had its seeds way back in April 2011 at the Health Information Systems Interoperability Conference in Hoi An, Vietnam. The Asia-Pacific HIS Forum followed in June of the same year in Manila. Both conferences gathered representatives from Ministries of Health and ICT, academe, private sector, and development agencies to thresh out the challenges with health information systems development in the region. In summary, the agreements of the participants was that there was a need for a more systematic and strategic approach towards building national health information systems, and that WHO guidance in this matter will be beneficial for all. They also suggested that a peer network be formed from member countries so they can share knowledge, experience, and resources on health information systems development. After all, the pool of experts who have tried building national-scale e-health systems was quite small, especially in the Asian region. By December of that year, a small group of participants from these conferences met to formally create this network. This was the beginning of AHIN. Together with Dr. Bunchai Kijsanayotin of Thailand, the two of us were tasked to co-chair the network and to craft activities to move it forward. We were joined by colleagues from other countries and started planning for our first big general meeting. In August of 2012, many of the participants from the past conferences, and some new, were invited to the first general meeting of AHIN in Bangkok. One of the highlights of this conference was the release of the WHO ITU National eHealth Strategy Toolkit, which was met with great enthusiasm by member countries. At last, there was a guide on how to start building a national health information systems program, starting with the vision laid out in a national eHealth strategy. A year later, at the second AHIN General Meeting in Manila, 5 countries underwent a write-up for their national eHealth strategy using the toolkit. Although their levels of development varied because some already had their own strategies, all were unanimous that the toolkit provided a comprehensive framework and that it was useful reference for updating their strategies. For those not yet familiar with the toolkit, allow me to share 2 graphics which to me are the most powerful. First is the framework itself, which shows 7 major components: leadership and governance, strategy and investment, legislation policy compliance, workforce, and the stack of services and applications running on standards over an infrastructure. This framework helps developing countries be conscious of the key components in a comprehensive e-health strategy. The other graphic was the proposed organizational structure. These two had a profound impact in the Philippines as they confirmed the e-health strategy, which was first published as far back as 2010 and predated the toolkit. But more than that, the toolkit also provided guidance on what were the important organizational structures that need to be in place to support a national e-health strategy. I will share more about this in the third part of my talk. As I speak, several countries are in the middle of updating and or finalizing their draft national e-health strategies, and we anticipate hearing their updates when we have our third general meeting this July to be hosted by our colleagues in China. Inasmuch as it seems exciting to see these developments, I should also be honest and share that indeed there have been a lot of e-health projects already in place in many countries in our region, and many of them are mobile-based. I think this is because mobile was easy to deploy in many areas in Asia, and often that was the only technology that had connectivity in most places. Having no national e-health strategy or blueprint to guide them, many of these projects, well-intentioned as they are, have fallen off the beaten path, not for lack of technical excellence, but for lack of a reference architecture against which they can operate. In this regard, and I only speak for myself as we have had our own mishaps at mobile application development, we ended up asking ourselves, for whose benefit are we doing this project? How do we connect to the other mobile apps on the other side of the island? Or how do we contribute to the larger national level health information system? And I think by way of analogy, you can buy a really nice car, but without a map and a set of directions, then all you have is a really nice car, and you can still end up lost in the wilderness of health information. Now we know that the set of directions is the national e-health strategy, and the map is its enterprise architecture. I will discuss enterprise architecture in my next presentation.